In this video, I'm going to share with you the 2 different types of perfectionism and what you can do to cut the BS, stop procrastinating, and actually use imperfection as a tool to get that project done that you've been putting off for the longest time. A perfectionist is someone who strives for excellence but can hold themselves back from being productive. This can happen because they're not sure how to do something and therefore they never start it. If you're anything like me, I definitely consider myself to be a perfectionist in a lot of areas of my life, and sometimes I find that it holds me back from being all I can be because I want it to be absolutely perfect before I put something out into the public. So in this video, I want to share with you my few tips that I've gotten from this book called How to Be an Imperfectionist, so you can too start working on whatever project it is that you want to work on. You don't have to be perfect to do something, and you can start right now. So let's jump into the video. So the first type of perfectionist is the overdriven perfectionist. This is a person who constantly tries to improve what they are working on to the very last detail. They're never satisfied with their work and they always feel like there's something more that they can do. However, this can become an endless loop where they don't understand where to stop and be satisfied with what they have. This can lead to burnout and stress because they never can seem to finish a project. Let's say you want to write a book and you, lo and behold, somehow make it through the first draft. Then you go and take it to your friends and have them read it and go over it with you, and you get their feedback. Well, from that feedback, then you go and you create another draft and improve based on their feedback. Then what you have with the second draft is you want more feedback, right? So you give it back to your friends and then you get more feedback and you want to continuously tweak it, which leads to frustration and burnout, and then you just don't finish. You just keep creating more and more drafts without ever deciding to stop and publish the book. Paralyzed perfectionists. A paralyzed perfectionist is someone who doesn't strive for perfection. Instead, they fear it. These people tend to see things as good or bad with little or no room for compromise. They have a clear vision on what they want to achieve, but can't seem to take action on their plans. They're afraid of failing to reach their desired results because they're afraid of making any mistakes. So they never actually attempt to do that project that they really want to do. They just keep delaying what they're supposed to be doing. Let's go back to the book writing example. This person will want to write a book, and instead of actually getting to work on the book, they start reading about how to write a book. And then they start writing down ideas, and then as they're writing down the ideas based on the book about writing a book, they start to think about if the book will get published, or if people will like the book, or if somebody started writing about the topic that they want to talk about. And so it just becomes this vicious cycle, and they end up stopping altogether. So that is the form of a paralyzed perfectionist. Now let's compare these 2 types of perfectionists. So the paralyzed perfectionist is often harmful because you end up putting off what you're supposed to be doing and get absolutely nothing done. On the other hand, overdriven perfectionism can be a good thing because you constantly want to improve those things in your life, including that project you're working on. However, you need to define your limits and know when to be satisfied with your achievements, and that way you don't get stuck on this never-ending loop of perfectionism. Now the question is, do we lean more towards one or both types of perfectionism? Me personally, I feel like I lean more towards the overdriven perfectionist, where I'm constantly improving. I might create the project and just keep tweaking it and tweaking it and asking for feedback.
Thank you.
Going back to the drawing board and just keep working on a project and never actually finishing it. You just have to start. You just have to do it and know that it's never, ever, ever going to be perfect, and then just get feedback on the product that you put out there and continue to improve on that. So I really think that at least understanding these types of perfectionism, you can kind of dig this out at the root and understand that you are behaving in a certain way and you can stop it. Instead, replace it with a loving kindness towards yourself that, hey, you want to put something great out into the world. So the best solution is to just start and understand that there is no perfection, just to be happy with what you've created, even if it isn't perfect. Put it out into the world, because there is going to be at least one person's life that you touch through that piece that you put out. Maybe it's a piece of music, maybe it's a piece of art, maybe it's a video that you want to create. There is going to be a life that you touch, and as long as you're putting it out there and making that contribution, that's what really matters, because it comes from your heart. If you don't achieve the expected standards that you had for yourself, you can always learn from that experience and do better next time. I'm also learning that progress is a lot more important than doing something perfectly, because if I wait for something to be absolutely perfect, I'll never do it. So I want to know, what kind of perfectionist are you? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this video and got some value from it, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you're not missing any future videos. I love posting about personal development skills in mind, body, and lifestyle. Thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see you next time.